Hello, welcome to American Baker in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we are making a geode cake. I'm really excited about this because I've never made one before. This is for a couple that I know who are very often separated. They live in two different continents, have a long-distance marriage, poor people, and they are together at the moment. And I wanted to celebrate that by making them a cake for the two of them. So this is my romantic geode cake with a heart cut into it. So let's get started.
I start out sticking the cake down with a bit of buttercream. This is vegan chocolate cake and Swiss meringue buttercream with dark chocolate folded into it. I fill the cake with buttercream only. Before I frost it, I need to carve it. I use a circle cutter to press the form of the top of the heart into the cake. Then I cut a rough heart out of the side of the cake with a serrated knife. Then I frost the cake with chocolate buttercream. The heart was a bit more complicated to frost, so I used my small offset spatula. I smooth the frosting as well as I can and chill the cake in the fridge half an hour to let the crumb coat set up. I originally thought rock candy doesn't exist in Germany, but I eventually discovered what it's called. It's called candice, and it comes in either brown or white. People often use it to put in their coffee or tea instead of sugar cubes. So these are roughly cube-shaped. I needed to break them up to make them smaller, more roughly shaped. I put the sugar into a plastic bag and tried to break them up with a rolling pin. These are very hard. They made all sorts of holes in the bag and even dented my rolling pin. I believe they're actually most similar to an American product called Sugar Diamonds. I separate the sugar into two bowls, the larger pieces in one bowl and the smaller pieces in another. Then I mix some red food coloring with clear alcohol to create an edible paint. Then I made my marbled fondant. I didn't have enough white, so I opened a new package and mixed them together. Then I rolled it into a thick log with light blue fondant in the thinner log next to it. Then I added a good amount of blue food coloring into the white and kneaded it together gently. I frosted the cake with more chocolate buttercream and smoothed it really well. Then I cleaned up my cake board with a wet rag. I rolled out my marbled fondant and chose my favorite side. Then I picked it up carefully with my fondant rolling pin and draped it over the cake. I smoothed it really carefully with my hands, pressing the fondant into the heart as well as I could. I cut off the excess fondant and saved it after mixing the marbling through to make dark blue fondant. I pushed the last lip of fondant into the cake and carefully cut it off with a sharp knife. I clean up my cake board again. I paint some edible glue into the heart and begin to place the sugar chunks. I begin with the larger pieces towards the center and slowly place the smaller pieces as I move toward the outside and to fill in the gaps in the middle. Then I placed a row of candy sugar around the bottom of the cake to create a border. If you like what we do here, consider subscribing for a new cake video every Monday, plus regular bonus videos with recipes and other tutorials. You can find us on AmericanBakerInGermany.com, as well as Facebook and Instagram. Then I use my edible red paint to dab it on the sugar in the heart. The sugar soaks up edible paint like nobody's business, so if you want a gradient of color, you'll have to make 2 different colors of edible paint. The amount of paint won't be terribly obvious. Then I made gold edible paint by mixing gold luster dust with clear alcohol. I painted the gold paint around the heart. Then I painted the sugar on the border. Finally, I added a few lines around the marbling to emphasize it. But the red paint just looked a bit dark to me, so I added some white food coloring to the paint to lighten it and painted it over the red. I think this cake turned out lovely. My friends were grateful to have it and were both excited about the chocolate. This cake was a challenge, and next time I try Geode, I'll probably make my own rock candy to get the sharp edges, but for a first attempt, I think it was quite pretty, and perfect for a couple to share. Happy Valentine's Day!
Oh, you're kidding me. This is like the most frustrating thing in the whole world. Now, are you going to work this time? I don't actually care which camera I use. I want to use the camera. Dang it. I need to take pictures. This doesn't work if I don't take pictures.